we're back with a brand new series. Basically what I'm going to be doing in these next few videos is I'm going to be showing you how to take normal Halloween stuff that you can buy from any sort of shop and turn it into something that looks actually half decent, or just to make simple things from scratch. So if you want to do your own Halloween stuff or your own haunt or anything, you can do, and it's really easy. So what we're going to start with first is we're going to make these bones, which I just bought a general bag of bones for nice and cheap off Amazon. Links will be in the description, so if you want to get some for yourself to give this a go, please use the link below, as this does help the channel and it gives me a small bit in return. So basically these sort of bones we've got here, these have had a little bit added to them. A lot of the bones you get will just be this sort of like just plain cream colour. This one has had a bit of sort of texturing added to it to make them look a bit better, and they look okay, but I think we can make them look a lot better, and it's really easy. So I'm going to show you how to do it. So if we start off with this bone, because you can see it a lot easier, is there's this manufacturing line on here, which you can see where it's been blow molded or whatever it's been, however it's been made. So what I'm going to do to start with is just lightly sand. This is some 180 grit sandpaper. It's just general stuff, it's nothing special. You can use any sort of sandpaper you want. I'm just going to basically lightly sand this line just to help get rid of it a little bit so you can't see it as much. And it makes a world of difference. So once you've done that, I've literally spent like 2 or 3 minutes just sanding just the edges off. It doesn't have to be perfect, it just helps with the overall finish. So you can use many methods to sort of stain these and make these look a lot better. My favourite is using wood stain. So I use varying different sort of shades of wood stain. I prefer the darker ones as opposed to the lighter ones, but again you can use any sort. And if you haven't got any wood stain, you can just use normal paint. Just thin it down, use the colours that you want, some reds, some browns, a little bit of yellow helps as well. Depends what sort of look you're going for, whether you want this to look like it's been there a while, or whether you want it to look like it's got fresh blood on it or whatever. Just choose the colours to suit how you want it to look. So this is a really simple process. Also, everything that I use in this video, there will be an Amazon affiliate link in the description below. So if you do want to have a go at this, please use the links below, because it does help out the channel, because I receive a little bit back for it. So, you know, it all helps. It all helps. So I'm going to do these 2 pieces here, just to show you what you can achieve. And also you've got like these bits. So you've got where these screws would go in to fasten it to other parts. All we're going to do on them is basically just go quite heavy with the stain, and it will hide a lot of that. And it won't stand out as much. Like the back of that hasn't been done at all, so we can make that look a lot better. So let's get some stain open and have a go. So what I like to do is I like to mainly use a bit of red. This is red mahogany, and the dark rosewood as well. I've not got a lot of this left, so I'll have to be quite sparing with this. Basically I like using the red because to me it looks like sort of dried on blood, sort of like old aged blood, so I like that. And also the more colours you use, the more contrast you're going to get, and the more contrast, generally, as long as you use the right sort of colours, the better things actually look. So we're going to get this open. And this really is a fast process. Like, I've not even stirred that, but that doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. It's such an easy thing to do. So you just want an old paintbrush. Like this thing here, this is pretty worn out paintbrush, but any sort of paintbrush will do. And you're literally just going to get it and just start slavering it on. There's no sort of real pattern to this. I like to get in all the nooks and crannies, because I'm thinking if there's going to be dried blood on it, that's where it's going to be sitting. It's going to be sitting in all the recesses. And really, this is like, you can't get this wrong, and I'll show you why in a moment. I'm literally just slavering it on. You don't have to be neat about it, which is why I like doing these. I like making these for haunts because they're just really easy and it's a lot of fun to make lots of different effects. But this is the easiest way of doing it. So I'm just getting it on absolutely everywhere. Let's get it in here as well. Just stabbing it in, not being neat about it. Doesn't matter if you get your hands on it, that's all part of it. And then what you want to do is get just some kitchen roll. This is just normal kitchen roll, cheap kitchen roll. What you then want to do is you want to take off the majority of it. Just leave behind bits, leave it in the recesses, because that's where it's going to be thicker. Like, you can leave it in a lot of places. Take most of that out in there, but then leave some ink so it's nice and dark in there, which is where we want it. So I'm just dabbing it, and it gives a nice sort of effect that looks like it's sort of just naturally dried. I mean, like that bit. If you wanted to leave that in there, that will still dry quite glossy because it's wood stain. So it would look like wet blood if you left that. But you'd have to leave it for a good few hours for it to dry. But just for this, I'm going to just take it off, most of it. So that already looks like a bone that's fresh out of someone's leg. Like, that already looks fantastic. What I'm going to do is just clean up my hands a little bit. Again, doesn't have to be too particular. And then if we open the darker wood stain, so if there's any of that left, yeah, there is. I'm going to use a different brush just because I don't want to get loads of red in it. Again, I just buy cheap brushes, buy them in a big pack, and use this little one. That'll do. So then we'll go in with the darker one. I like to do the red first because I kind of think that the browner one should be on the top, the red should be on the bottom. Then I'm not going to go everywhere with this one because I want a lot of that red to come through. And I'm literally just dabbing it in. This just gives it more of like an aged look. You could just leave it red if you wanted to, but I like to add a couple of colours just because it makes it look more realistic. So I'm just dabbing it on. Again, not really caring too much about where I put it. Putting it on thick in places, it doesn't matter. Bit in there just to break up the colour a bit. And then that will do for that. So again, we'll just come in with the kitchen roll, just dab off a lot of the excess. I don't want to take as much as this off. Leave that bit in there because I like that. I think that looks good. This will also blend some of it together as well. And that is it for that one. See how quick that is? And that looks a million times better than what the original one. So this was the original one. And that's the one that's been done. And it looks a million times better. Just from literally a couple of minutes. So I'm going to do the ribcage one as well, just so you can see. I'll put that up there. So the ribcage one, we'll do this one without the red, and then you can see what it does. So again, literally just going to slather this on. So this will give it more of less of a fresh look, because there won't be no red. You could always add some red bits in if you wanted to. We're going to basically just slather loads in that hole, just so we can hide them holes. like a rib cage. There's plenty of bits to it. Nothing neat, just getting in there, just getting that coverage. That's all we're doing. It doesn't matter if you miss a bit, you can always go back over it and add more. And again, if you think it's too light, you can, once it's dried, you can add more on the top and it will just darken everything even more. Or you can add more colours. That's the wonder with stain, you can just keep putting it over the top. Same with paint as well, you can do the same thing. But like, I'm doing this in real time. This is not sped up or anything. It really is this quick. And I bought this bag of bones for like a couple of pounds. It wasn't extortionate. I'll leave a link in the description below where you can get some. But they're really not expensive. And you can make some really good sets with them. So that is all of that. We can use this same one. I'm literally just lightly dabbing it. You know, it's leaving some bits where I want it. I'm not even thinking about where I'm dabbing. I am just dabbing it. And you could leave it. You could leave it on heavy. If that's what you wanted. It wouldn't hurt it. But that already looks a lot better. Now we've got like these bits here that we've missed. That doesn't matter. But what I'm going to do is I want to hit a little bit of red on these just to add a bit of contrast. So I just want to just touch the top of these. Just a little bit of red just to make it look like, you know, there's been some blood at one point. Maybe a bit down here. Yeah, there was some organs behind here at some point. But again, there's no precise science to this. I'm just hitting it. And then if you want to do the inside as well, you can. You know, if you just want to cover it. Just because somebody might see it, they might not, but for how quick this is, it wouldn't hurt to do it, would it? Again, I'm not bothering about protecting the other side because it really doesn't matter. You can't really mess it up. This is sort of as messy and fun as Halloween making or prop making gets. And it just gets rid of that boring creamy colour that all bones come in. I can use this one again and just dab off some of the excess. Again, I don't have to, I can just leave it. And then we've got some blotches on the front. If you don't like the blotches, you can just dab them. And then look, that sort of transformed the front of it again. So that it looks like it's had some blood and stuff in it. Like, I mean, you could spend as much time on this as you wanted, but that, you stick that with some dark lighting with some good spotlight on it, you know, that's it, it's done, it's good. And it takes literally a couple of minutes. So again, that's the original, that's how they came, after I've put some fingerprints on it. So these ones aren't terrible, because they're not all one colour, but you can see where the patches are. But just the difference is amazing. Like, it already looks like a much more expensive prop. And that is how you easily and quickly and cheaply improve bones. If you like this video, make sure to subscribe and also like the video. And yeah, there's going to be plenty more tutorials like this coming along on the channel. So the next video will be how you can corpse these. So how you can make them look like they've got skin hanging off them. Just make them look even better. And again, that is another really quick process. So thank you so much for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. See you later.